Hey, what's good with y'all, man? It's your boy K Dub. I'm coming to y'all with a video, as y'all can see on the title of the video, man. Today was it was a weird day for all the JBP fans. Like, I consider myself one of the Joe Budden Podcast fans. And today was a little weird, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of fans and a lot of people kind of been talking about this thing. Some people been saying it from afar, but me, to be honest, I didn't see all this tension that apparently was on the show. Like, I usually just listen to the podcast like when I'm at work and on the weekends when I go on my walk. So I never really see the tension that is going on, like that YouTube viewers might see it. But I started noticing like some things people were posting like a few weeks ago that I was like, okay, shit is a little different. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's this guy Jamari. He dropped a video like a while back. I'll probably say like a month ago, talking about like all the things going on with the Joe Budden podcast, what he thinks, the deals that Joe might have screwed over. And he was putting in some clips in there that were kind of interesting. Like, you could see people's body language, things like that. I was like, oh man, he might be up to something. A lot of people on the comments killing this guy. Like, bro, you don't know what you're talking about. And I ain't gonna lie, the guy kept on pronouncing Mal's name. He kept on saying Mal or something like that. That did get annoying, but he was on point about some things. So where did it starts for me that last week I tuned in. I was at work. I'm like, cool. It's Wednesday. We know the podcast dropping. No podcast dropped. I was like, damn. Usually they tell us when they about to drop something, but they didn't say anything. So I was like, okay, no sweat, man. Saturday came. It was just Joe, and he was like Savon and Ice. And like, to be honest, I see a lot of people killing them. I thought they did a good job carrying the pod. You know what I'm saying? But Joe said that the guys on break and something like that, like they're on vacation. I was like, okay, cool. Because I ain't gonna lie, I was excited to hear what like Rory and Mal were gonna say about, Sin kind of threw some shots at Joe over that Sweetie and Quavo shit. So I was like, man, that's gonna be a fun little pod. Nothing, them guys wasn't there. Alright, so fast forward till today. I tune in. First, I see people on Twitter talking about the pod breaking up. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of crazy. Then, I got to work. I'm like, all right, let me listen before everybody. I see what everybody's saying, but I wanted to hear it for myself. Like, let me see what people, what Joe's talking about. So I listened to the pod. Joe said some things. I felt the way. I ain't gonna lie. Like, as much as I hate hearing Mal's bad basketball takes, like, he add like a different type of edge and feel to the podcast. Like, he be saying some crazy shit that I disagree on, but he be balancing some wild shit Joe say sometimes. And I feel like Rory balances the whole pod well, you feel me? So when I heard what was going on, I was like, it sounds like the tension, me, when I listen to the pod, like when Rory was joking about fighting Joe, I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, bro, I'm like, that's some funny shit. But, like I said, I don't watch the videos. But so I saw the video of that clip when Rory was like, who said we're friends? Yeah, and looking at the video, when I was listening to it, I was just like, nah, this dude's making jokes. But seeing that video, I'm like, okay, bro, I could see the tension on that. You know what I'm saying? But the question that I kind of, people are saying is this and that. Academics been killing him. He been on it for a while. And of course, I listen to the Brilliant Idiots too with Charlamagne and Show. So they all been making points. And I remember like way back, this is before even, I think Mal was on the podcast, when they used to shoot at a different studio when they had Charlamagne on. And Charlamagne was saying like Joe Budden always finds a way to fuck some shit up. And the question is like, is that what happened here? Guys are saying it's just emotions, but is it business too? Because I see a lot of guys, like this Jamari guy. I mean, the guy got a big YouTube page, you feel me? So he knows some of the things he's talking about. And he thinks the problem being on the business side. And, you know, Charlamagne had brought that up too. Me as a casual fan listener, I don't know much, but I think it's the business side too, if you ask me, because when I heard Joe turned out an 8-figure deal, I ain't gonna lie, as a fan of them, I was like, boy, that's bold, you feel me? You got a lot of, because like I said, this podcasting is still kind of new, like, so I think people got to cash in when it's time, you know what I'm saying? And like there's this video, but shit, so I think part of that is that business stuff, because I mean, an 8-figure deal, I don't know how much those guys make over there, but I think an 8-figure deal, all of them become millionaires. And I always fell away, like, and I think that's the Charlamagne, that's the point Charlamagne was making, like, early on. He was like, why is it called the Joe Budden Podcast? Like, it's other people on there. And that time I remember Rory, like, being the main one. So when Joe was talking about equity and all that, and I be wondering, like, yo, this guy's part of that. You know what I mean? Like, is this just Joe Budden's thing and they're workers? You feel me? Because although, like, Joe, they did get traction off Joe's name. Like, here's the reason people tune in. But, hey, those guys build it with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I never understood. Like, I know Mal was having, like, a class where he, you know, people asking him, like, about podcasting. But I'm thinking, like, bro, I don't see how you could go to Mal for a class about podcasting where the main reason they got a big podcast is Joe Budden. Like, I can understand if Mal just build his own thing, then I will pay for one of them workshops to hear from Mal. But I was like, nah, that didn't make sense to me. But anyway, those guys got value. But yeah, Charlamagne, he had just brought that question up, and I had this interview that Rory did with the girls from the JBP network, or the Joe Budden network show thing with Mandy and I forget the other girls, but I see Rory was on there and he made this point. Let me get to that video real quick. Let's see.
You having some problems with your friends in business, you can end the business and keep the friendship, or you can continue with it and end both. Because the business is going to end because y'all are going to fucking fight, and then you're not going to be friends anymore. So there's been times, even with Palooza stuff, where I'll just say, hey, we should end this part over here because I want to remain friends. And even with our podcast, too, there's plenty of things where it's like, yo, you and I shouldn't even speak to each other because it's going to fuck up the chemistry that we have.
Right.
So that was an interesting little video, like, that Rory did a few weeks ago. And, like, yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie. I like, when it felt like he was some problems with Rory at home, I didn't like Joe going in on, like, Joe used to make too many jokes where I'm like, damn, bro, if you're really going through it at home, this shit is not making it any easier, you feel me? And just him deciding to tell Rory, like, yo, just stay home until you feel me. We don't know how that conversation went. We don't know if he was calm, like, hey, bro, just take some time off, or he just got heated and Joe was like, nah, man, you stay your ass home until it's time you feel like you ready to come back. If that's the case, I think that's wrong, because when you do that to somebody, you kind of saying, like, yo, you acting out at work and I'm gonna need you to chill out. If it's because of the comments that Rory be making, like, yo, we could fight if you want to. Because to be honest, as much as it might be serious, that shit sound like jokes to me. Then, Mal decided to take that stance too. Like, I guess he decided he's gonna, stay at home too. Because he's like, yo, if we all own this shit, why should it be just your call? Like, Rory gotta stay home. You feel me? But I hope they get back. You feel me? I hope them boys come back, because I ain't gonna lie, Savon and Ice and all them people, I think they cool, but people just don't like change. So that's the pushback they get right now, and I don't know what them guys got going on outside the pod. You feel me? And, like, if I think Joe be lying, he'd be lying if he say if it was to end right now. Maybe for Joe it's cool because he could continue doing it. But I think for them guys it's gonna hurt. Like if they didn't cash in on a big payday, a big deal, and that's how the pot ended. But that's not a good look, man. So the thing is, and I see the Big Pump Killer, bro. Even him on the diss songs he been dropping. It's been funny all this time, but hey, he kind of was on point about some things. It looked like, and he dropped a diss too again today. But you feel me? I hope them boys figure it out and get back doing what they doing. But yeah, man, y'all let me know how y'all feel, and was Charlamagne right, man? But hey, yo, if y'all know here, man, y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe, but y'all stay tuned. It's your boy K-Dub, and I'ma holla at y'all. Peace.